If you're on hold, stay there. If not, I've got one phone line open. It's good in the U.S. and in Canada. 1-800-636-8686. First things first, we'll talk some college football. I'm joined by the head football coach at Western Michigan. He is in his second year at WMU. He was the MAC Coach of the Year this season. He led Western Michigan to the best single-season improvement in school history this year. They were 1-11 last year, 8-4 this year. They play Air Force in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl December 20th. PJ Fleck joins us. PJ, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jim. It's an honor to be on your show. I've been a fan of yours for a very long time. One of the realest people on the radio and TV. So it's an honor to be on your show.
PJ, much respect to you. I really appreciate you saying that. I've been looking forward to this conversation. It is great to have you. Thanks so much. All right, you're facing Air Force in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. As you start preparing for the Falcons, what is your biggest concern?
The biggest concern is just who they are. They're tough. Obviously, these are young men who go to school, get their school paid for to play football, but they also have to represent our country after that, and they're willing to do that. You know, we found out December 7th we were going to play them, and how fitting. The anniversary of Pearl Harbor, we find out we're going to play an Air Force team that was 3-9 last year, went to 9-3 this year. And if there's anyone that's going to defend our country, I want people that go from 3-9 to 9-3 in 1 year. And that's a complete compliment to them and their program and their coaching staff. We got our work cut out for us because they are a triple option type team, but they only do it for half the game. And the other half of the game, they're a normal football team. So you got two defenses that you really need to install for this game. It's a great venue. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. It's been around for a very long time, and we're honored to go.
PJ Fleck joining us. PJ, Western Michigan has never won a bowl game in its history. You certainly have your work cut out for you, as you mentioned. What then would it mean to you to be the coach and the team that changed that history and created a new legacy?
I think it'd be wonderful just for our institution, and I think it'd be wonderful for our community. We have a phenomenal city. There's over 200,000 people within a 5-mile radius here in Kalamazoo, and we're proud of our culture. We're proud of who we are, and this town really deserves a winner. And the reason why I took the job was I wanted to make sure this place was a winner for a very long time. And I knew the challenges. I knew what wasn't. I knew what's always been. And the one thing when you take over a program, you're turning it around, you always hear what's been. Oh, we've never done it that way. We've always done this. That's hard. Change is very hard. But I think people are starting to see if you just keep your oar in the water, you keep rowing the boat, at least things are going to happen to you. And hopefully we can do some things here for a very long time and become one of those traditional powerhouses that aren't in the Power 5.
Yeah, we're going to talk about rowing the boat in just 1 minute. I know that you know what you signed up for, but I'm not sure that everybody else does. So let me just walk this back. You took over a program in 2012 when you were 32 years old, making you the youngest head coach in FBS. You were going to become the head coach of a school that had won 2 conference titles in 108 years, had never won a ball game. So what made you think that was a good fit and that the time was right for you to take that shot?
Everything you just said, Jim. You don't know me, but I know this. That's one thing that I absolutely love. I knew I always wanted to take over a program that didn't really have the tradition, that I wasn't going to be just one of many. I wanted to do something that really made an impact on a lot of people's lives. I'm a former 6th grade social studies teacher. I have an elementary education degree. My family comes from a teaching background, and that's what I wanted to be able to do. And what better way to be able to do that by take over a football program, not only teach football, but teach life and life lessons that'll last a lifetime. And what better way to do that than start at the bottom and work your way up? And we'll see what type of leader I really am as the years go on. And every day is a new challenge. We just continue to change our best here, and I'm very, very proud to be a Western Michigan Bronco.
PJ Fleck, head coach of Western Michigan, joining us. I'm glad you brought up leadership. Let's talk about that for a minute. I've heard you say that being a head football coach is about leading men. It's not about managing them. We manage machines. We lead men. That's an actual quote. Lay that out for me. What do you mean by that?
Well, leadership, the simple definition we use here at Western Michigan is influencing others. You're always leading. We don't believe in followers here. Every single one of us can lead, and that comes from the 360-degree leader by Maxwell, the book that he has. You can lead here, and what we want to be able to do, no matter what you're doing, you're leading at some point. So you can lead from the bottom. If you're doing the wrong things, you're leading others to be able to do that as well. We want everybody to influence other people's lives in a positive way, and that's what leadership is to us. And every single person on our football team, in our administration, in our operations department, in our equipment room, our training room, they can lead. But what we need to have is one message, one voice, and we need to continue to sell that message on a daily basis to our players, to our community, and stay consistent.
Your phrase, row the boat, is something you mentioned a moment ago. It's become a mantra for the program. And let's get into that right now. Exactly what does that mean?
It's very simple. There's three aspects to it. The oars are the energy you bring to your life, to your family, to football, whatever is important to you. That's the energy. The harder you row, the faster you're going to go. The second is the boat. The boat is a sacrifice. You can't row a boat unless you have a boat to be built. So what are you willing to give up for something that you never had? Once you give something up, you add to the boat. You add another slab. You add another screw. You're able to build that boat. The more you sacrifice, the more sturdy that boat's going to be. And the third part is your compass. That's the direction that you're headed. If you're headed towards Thirdville, you're going to go to Thirdville. If you're headed and leading with the right people, you're going to have success in your life. And that's the direction set by the leader in your life as well, and it could be you. When you're rowing a boat, you don't see where you're going. Your back's towards the future. That's where you're headed. You don't know what's ahead of you. The only thing you can do is row in the present. That's the only thing you can control. But what you're looking at is the past, and that's the only thing that you can learn from. So it's a very simple concept. If you stop rowing, you're not going to go anywhere. If you row one side of the boat, you go in a circle. We want to go from A to B as efficiently as possible with everybody in the boat rowing the same speed, same efficiency, same direction, so we can win a championship here very soon.
PJ Fleck joining us. I'm not being flip when I say this, but give me an example. Like, what type of individual ends up in Thirdville, and what's that look and feel like?
Well, if you hang around Third, I'm talking, the drug dealers, the guys who run it. Alcohol is more important than their teammates. You're a guy who doesn't study very hard with your grades. You don't change your best on a daily basis. You are who you surround yourself with. And that was one of the issues we had here when we first got here. We had to get our players away from some of their friends. We had to find out who their friends were, whether they were football players or not football players. And we had to somehow convince them to get away from them. And we had to do a lot of investigations. We had to do a lot of behind-the-scene work as a coaching staff that has nothing to do with football, but that is the lifeline to your program. And we had to find out where all those veins were headed.
You look at it, PJ, rowing the boat's one thing, but what about the hot coals? There's also an exercise where you walked on broken glass. I mean, talk to me about the hot coals and the broken glass. And let me specifically ask you about the coals. I mean, how can you walk over coals and not get your feet fried? Is it truly mind over matter? And what's the purpose of that exercise?
Well, I think it is truly mind over matter because your feet really are burned. We have blisters on your feet when you're actually done. But the one thing I wanted to teach our coaching staff, this was a coaching staff exercise that I had our coaching staff do last summer. A former player who's actually a chiropractor here in town also does mind training. And I wanted them to believe that even after a 1-1 season, we can go from worst to first. It can happen if we just truly believe we can and we set our path in the right direction. So he had all of us do things, break arrows with our throat. We walked on broken glass. We walked across hot fire, the coals. I mean, I wanted to show them that, hey, no matter what we do, we're going to do it together, and we're going to believe in one vision. And if we put our minds together, we're very smart coaches in this room. If we can truly do that, we'll accomplish our goals, and it'll accomplish a lot faster if we all do it together.
A couple of quick things before you go on. I really do appreciate your time. Thanks very much. You were in a situation where you went back to Ohio State, and you were a graduate assistant under Jim Tressel, and you were also training for a marathon at that time, which meant there were days that you would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get your run in, and then go to work, and then work coach's hours. Probably thought at that time you could never go any harder than that. But then you go to Rutgers and you work for Greg Schiano, and you said, quote, I never knew what my best was until I met Greg Schiano. Did you find another gear, and then were you going harder than getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to train for a marathon and working coach's hours?
Well, one thing about me is I've always been an underdog. My life's never been necessarily that easy. Growing up, my dad will always have me playing with 2 years, kids that are 2 years older than me. So if there was a 9-year-old basketball team, I'd be 7 and playing in it. And he never told me that. He always put me with the older kids, so I either got beat up or I had to be better than I was the day before just to hang in there and compete. One thing about me is there's a lot to experience in life. I absolutely love challenging myself. I don't like to be bored. And being a college football coach, it's hard to be bored. We work crazy hours, but I always know I can do more. Greg Schiano taught me how much my body can actually take, how much my mind can take. And I found out at the end of the day, I can do a heck of a lot more than I thought I could yesterday. And I think that's what the row the boat mentality is all about. And working for Greg Schiano changed my entire life. And I feel like I work harder now than I did before, but I'm always going to find different ways to challenge myself, not only in my profession, but also in my personal life.
Yeah, finally, it seems to me you've got this amazing challenge coming up. You've got a big bowl game, but I'm talking to you, PJ. I think a lot of the country's hearing you right now. You're obviously a very different guy with a different approach. You turn a program around the way you did. Additionally, your name is going to come up for other jobs. I think everybody knows that. It has even for the Michigan job. How are you handling the phone calls now when they come?
Well, I'm just very happy for the exposure of Western Michigan football. I get paid to represent Western Michigan football on a daily basis. And the more attention Western Michigan gets, the more I'm doing my job. I'm very, very happy about our extension that we have going on with the 6-year extension here at Western Michigan. You know, we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied. We went from 1-11 to 8-4, but that doesn't necessarily satisfy us. I have one of the best athletic directors in the entire country. Here she is. Kathy Beauregard hired me as a 32-year-old, no coordinating experience, no head coaching experience, probably against everybody in the community, told her not to do it. She didn't fear change, and I truly, truly feel like I owe her everything, and she's a pioneer in my mind, and I'm having a lot of fun here at Western Michigan. We got a long way to go, and we're not satisfied.
A final question. Can you accomplish everything you want to accomplish at Western Michigan, or might there come a point where you need to test yourself at an even higher level?
I think the first part is I always want to challenge myself no matter where I'm at. That's the one thing about me. And I think no matter where you're at as a coach, you can always find ways to get better. And I think that's where coaches kind of look at things a little bit differently. I know that I want to make Western Michigan the best Western Michigan has ever been, and I'm not going to stop till I do it.
PJ Fleck, head coach at Western Michigan, 1-11 last season, 8-4 this season. Next up, got a game against Air Force in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. That's December 20th. PJ, really good to have you on. Thanks for staying on so long. Good to have you on.
Jim, that was awesome. I appreciate it. Keep rowing the boat.
My man, that was awesome, PJ. I knew it would be, and that was awesome. And you know what? I'm going to start rowing the boat. PJ Fleck. When he retired there 2 years ago, he was the youngest coach in FBS. 32. He's 34 right now. And he's got a vision for it. What an amazing conversation that was. I mean, that's something awesome. That really is amazing. So they were very smart to extend him. If I'm the AD at that school, I love hearing him say that, hey, listen, I'm loyal, and I'm very appreciative that they took a shot on me. So I want to repay them. If you're a Michigan fan, you think maybe you might want that guy coming around? So I want to repay them.